Hey everybody, Kevin Machado here again. Hope you're doing great. We've got your monthly market update here as we're looking at August and some of the things that have been going on recently. I have been training for a marathon. You might not know it, but I've been training, and as of the time of this recording, I'm running it here in a couple days, and I just hope I survive. That's the main goal. My niece Briar is going to run it in like so fast, under 3:30. She's crazy. I'm just hoping to make it to the finish line. But as I've been training for this marathon, it's something that it didn't just occur to me last week that I wanted to do this run. I've actually started running and training for this the beginning of this year already. And so when I started my training, maybe I was doing 5 kilometers and it was hard and I was getting injured and it was a struggle. And now I'm looking and staring down the face of over 42 kilometers. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is that it doesn't just happen from one week to the next. It's been cold morning runs and runs on really hot sunny afternoons. It's been putting in the energy and the efforts and the consistency to get here. And I think it bodes well for just our lives. You know, what are the things that you need to be doing that you really want, but you haven't had a chance to get there yet? And maybe all it requires is not some magic pill or somebody to tap you on the shoulder and give you their kingdom, but it's a matter of just putting in the consistent effort over a period of time. Maybe it's making that relationship with your spouse or partner or whoever better, or your kids. Maybe it is getting to the next level in your health and fitness, or getting that job that you really want, or learning a new skill, or starting a YouTube channel, or writing a book. Maybe it's something that's been inside of you and you haven't let it out, and all it takes is some disciplined, consistent effort. So that's my encouragement to you this month. As you're looking at September, what are those things that you can put some consistent, diligent effort in that are going to yield incredible results for you down the road? Let's take a peek at our real estate market as we've gotten through that. And we're looking at a real estate market. How are things looking? Just in general, what we're starting to see is inventory increasing. So we've seen that inventory increase. We're out of 7,083. And that increase from the month previous, that was at 6,768. So up about 4%, we're seeing an increase there. Our sales remain steady. And, you know, maybe they're down a little bit from the year prior, which is 2.6%, and new listings are up 20% from the year prior. So we are seeing that increase in inventory, the sales kind of steadying, and that actually is making our prices remain steady. We're not seeing that increase. We're not seeing a steep decline, but we're seeing just steady as it goes, particularly with single family detached property types. As we look at things and we're looking at our months of inventory, we're still at 2.5 months of inventory when we're looking at everything. And that means we're still sitting in that seller's market. So it still can be a challenge for buyers to get a good property, but it's really, again, on those price points under $600,000. That's where the real heart of our market is. We're seeing a lot of activity there. Any good property that's priced well, it's going to see activity. If you're priced just above where the market is, you're probably going to sit on the market for a bit, and you might get less than if you would have listed it right at market value. There's opportunities here for buyers, but there's also some cautionary tales for sellers to make sure that you're positioned properly, because as we said, inventory is rising, sales are staying the same, prices are staying the same. Maybe that means for us, if inventory continues to rise and sales remain the same, continuing to grow that inventory, our months of inventory grows, maybe that's going to put some pressure down on pricing. But right now, things are remaining steady. Let's look specifically at our pricing. As we look at pricing for things right now, we're seeing our detached single-family home values, and this is for the greater Edmonton area, so all the suburbs and everything inclusive. Detached prices are sitting at $578,000, which is up 1% month over month and up 5% year over year. And then when we look at our semi-detached, those half-duplex style properties, those are sitting at an average price of $430,000, which is down 2% month over month and up 6% year over year. Still year over year gains. Those month over months, we're starting to see a little bit of a slip or just remaining steady. Townhomes, those are sitting at $296,000. which month over month, those ones came down about 4%, and year over year, those are up about 2%. So starting to level off a little there. And our apartment style condos, those are sitting at an average of $209,000, which is down 2% month over month and up 3% year over year. Our days on market, those are sitting at 31 for a detached single family home. So 31 days to get a property sold. That doesn't include properties that go off the market or come off and then go back on. Whereas last year they were at 32. So 31 days for that. And now specifically, let's dive into St. Albert, into my neighborhood, and see what we're seeing here in our community. So current active as the time of this recording, we've got 142 active properties. Last month, we had active 118 and 30 that were pending. So a 16% increase in that activity from month over month. Our sales for last month, again, we're looking at, these are July stats. We're looking at those 111 sales. Last month, the month prior to that was 100. So we're still seeing strong sales in there. And then the year before was 97. 600 and under, you're seeing 60 homes that are selling. So again, that strength is there, and 600 to 800, you've got 34, and then it starts to go up and slow down a little bit once you're hitting and going above $1 million. So really that heart of that market is 600 and under that we see across the board. Days on market here for single family detached is 24 days on the market rather than, well, the month before that was 26. And then the average price point, as we're looking at single family detached homes, is $626,000 and a median price of $574,900. And last month that price was $631,000 and the median was $562,000. So really, really close, really steady. And then just again, steady on that market. And we've seen that price come up about 4% year over year and down 0.01% month over month. The high sale that we saw this past month, the month prior, was $1.3 million in Lacombe, which was one of our wonderful clients that got a great home there. And then the low sale we saw was $360,000 in Sturgeon Heights. Our month of inventory, we're sitting at 1.28, which is clearly right inside seller's market. And the month prior to that was 0.84. So all of these things, what we're seeing, the general theme is continue increase in inventory, not to dangerous levels or oversupply levels. We're still very much in a good market, might get to balance, but that might be later on in the year, in the winter, but we're still in a seller's market. We're still seeing lots of activity and we're still seeing properties sell. There's great opportunities out there. You got to be wise, make great decisions, position yourself well, especially if you're a seller, and if you're a buyer, make sure you're ready, because when the right one comes, you want to make sure you can jump on it. All right, my friends, thanks so much for taking some time to watch, listen to some thoughts, and I'm always interested in hearing what you've got. So if you've got some great recommendations or ideas or questions even, just reach out to me. I'd love to help serve you however I can. All right, thanks again so much for watching, my friends. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.